Hey folks, Lily here once again. I hope y'all enjoyed my review slash rant on Iron Man 3 that I did earlier on my channel. Also, The Lone Ranger, starring Johnny Depp and Armie Hammer, and my epic rant on that. Hey guys, what I've been doing here on my YouTube channel. Thank you for the 165 subs, guys. Keep on subscribing. I do appreciate it. I just remember all these videos are 100% purely my opinion. It's my opinion on movies. And what I've been doing, y'all, on my YouTube channel, if you're new, my name is Levin McNally. I've been here on YouTube for 30 years now, 11 years. Sorry. This year to be 12 in October. But anyway, I've been doing a superhero marathon on my YouTube channel. Yeah, come on, shirt. But anyway, I've been doing a superhero marathon, and I've been on what I call the 2010s era superhero reviews. These are superhero movies that came out in 2010, 2019. No, not all of them. There's some characters that come off like heroes, or that can be based on graphic novels or comic books that I might choose to review. Well, I've had this movie since 20 for 11 years now on DVD, and honestly, this film is a 2013 supernatural action comedy film starring Jeff Bridges and Ryan Reynolds, and directed by Robert Schwinke. And written by Phil Hay and Matt Fernero, based on the 1999 comic book R.I.P.D. by Peter Malunki. I can't say his name right, but that is R.I.P.D. If you look here closely, the film says my name on it. I thought this movie sucks. This movie was terrible. This is gonna be another epic rant. Yeah, I thought this film was terrible. You know, I do like the hot chick there in the movie that covers him. Yeah. But this movie was just terrible, bad, awful, forgettable, boring. Yeah. I might throw this little cover away because if I get rid of this movie, I'm not putting this DVD. This ain't going back on my shelf. But I don't want. I don't know. I don't like my name on the movie, so yeah. Anytime I go to Goodwill to buy movies, I don't want to buy it with somebody's name on it. Like just get rid of something like that. But anyway, for now, just the DVD of R.I.P.D. This film is terrible. It's one of the worst movies of 2013. Heck, I think it's one of the worst movies ever made. It's that forgettable. This is a Men in Black ripoff, basically. Yeah, it is. Men in Black is based on comic book too, but Men in Black is better. First of all, Will Smith and Tom Lee Jones have way better chemistry. Yeah, this film gets things wrong on so many levels. I don't even know where to begin. But like I said, this film is based on Dark Horse, Dark Horse Comics Entertainment. They're comic book twos as well. Yeah, never seen Duckman, but of course, they are, Dark Horse Comics, they make characters like The Mask, the movie with Jim Carrey and Cameron Diaz. That movie's still classic, 30 years old, and yeah, that's a better movie than this. It has better special effects and a way better story, and, it's hilarious, and has a way better villain. Time Cop, oh, okay, Time Cop's had an anime series? Oh, it's a television series, okay. But I love the movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme, which turned 30 in September. I love Time Cops. That movie has better special effects and a better villain than this. Yeah. And of course, the Hellboy movies. Hellboy 2004. Not a great movie, but it's better than this. Hellboy 2 Go Normie. A heck of a lot better. The Hellboy anime movies are better than this. Hellboy Sword of Storms, and Hellboy Blood 9 are a lot better. Sin City, another great novel. I know probably think I should read that, but I think Bruce Willis started that, so maybe if I do like a Bruce Willis marathon one day. Uh, Tank Girl is bizarre and crazy, but I think it's better than this. One for one, I love Laura Petty. She's sexy in that movie, and she's funny, and she's hilarious. And Malcolm McDowell I thought was a good villain. That film had better special effects. What the heck? It had better makeup. I used to complain about the makeup in that movie, but it looks better. Barbed Wire, I don't know if that's really a comic book film. It's a superhero film, but I never really wanted to review it because it seems like more like a porn, not like a freaking movie. Never seen Doctor Giggles. Oh, it's a slasher film. Does that star? What's his name? Looks familiar. Oh, Larry Drake. Okay, no, never seen it. Like I said, Tank Girl, Time Cop. It's an awesome movie. The Mask is a classic. Yeah. And Mystery Men, I guess it's from Dark Horse. Dark Horse Comics is from that. And I love Mystery Men. Mystery Men is a lot better than this film as well. Son of the Mask, no, that's a piece of shit movie. Sin City, not a superhero movie, more of a crime thriller kind of movie, but yeah, it's a movie I like to check out one day. Maybe if I do a Bruce Willis marathon or something like that. And then this movie, yeah, and R.I.P.D. Well, anyway, I'll get into that later. Tank Girl reboot, okay. Just to mention a few projects that I made into movies that are a lot better than this. But anyway, R.I.P.D. So for the production of the movie, in April 2006, following the success of Wedding Crashers, which is a movie that stars. I'm definitely planning a future review of that pretty soon, a random review. Anyway, I'll get more into those later. But a romantic comedy film starring Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn, which is so much better than this movie. Director David Topkin was set to helm in a development adaptation of the comic book R.I.P.D. for Universal, with Phil Hay and Matt Manfred hired to write the screenplay. In September 2010, Universal officially greenlit the film with Robert Tingley to direct with Ryan Reynolds in the lead role as David Topkin, and has since dropped out, which sucks though because it's a he directed Wedding Crashers, and that movie was a success. It made money at the box office. He could have made this movie rated R. If he would have made this movie, it probably would have been a lot better. The following April, Jeff Bridges entered talks to star as the co-lead in the film, following that Grinnis turning down the role. I can't say the name right. In July of that year, Kevin Bacon was cast to play the villain, with Stephanie Sukak and Mary Louise Parker rounding out the cast in August. Jodie Foster being considered for the role of producer, I guess which never happened. The movie did get direct-to-video prequel, R.P.D. 2 Rise of the Damned, which I haven't seen. I think that's on Netflix. The movie for the soundtrack, you have about 23 tracks. I don't remember any of the good music being good. Yeah. Of course, the film had, for the marketing though, the film, you had the trailer for the movie, TV spots, and there was a video game based on the movie. Yeah. In the game, you're able to play as the characters Roy Publisher or Nick Walker and incorporate horror mode. Games up against redneck ghosts, also known as deados, who stay on Earth to avoid their fate in the afterlife. It summarizes the events of the movie, covering Nick's death. Like the third person shooter game, you can play as Nick or as Roy, killing deadites. Enemies can be defeated by throwing game fires or standing next to marked enemies in order to arrest them. At the end of each level, bounties are collected from surviving all 5 waves of enemies. Yeah, hey, I've seen a bit of a trailer for the game. It looks pretty interesting. A lot better than the movie, sadly. For the cast of the movie, you have Jeff Bridges as Roy Francis, Roy Publisher, stupid name, who's subsequent alum in the Little West and a veteran of the R.I.P.D. He was also killed by his partner, and yeah. Jeff Bridges has been in many things like Starman. And you want to talk about a superhero movie? He was Obadiah Stane, of course, aka Ironmonger in Iron Man 2008. You know, people want to say that his dialogue was not good. So if I'm like, you need to watch this movie then. If you felt like he was not good in that movie, you need to rewatch. You need to watch this movie then. If you think he was terrible in Iron Man, King Kong in 1976, I like that movie. Jagged X, The Big Lebowski, I need to see that. Bad Times at the Royal, never seen it. And he was in Tron from 1984. Seabiscuit with I think co-starring with Tobey Maguire. Yeah, Jeff Bridges, really good actor. Yeah, he voiced Jor-El in the Lego Batman movie. He was uncredited. And Brian Reynolds, Nick Walker, a Boston police detective who was murdered by his partner, and recruited him into the R.I.P.D. Into the R.I.P.D. Ryan Reynolds, you know, he's done like Just Friends, some comedies, National Olympics Man Waldo, The Proposal. And if you want to talk about comic book movies, superhero films, not The Proposal, it's not a superhero film. Blade Trinity, which I think sucks, X-Men vs. Wolverine, and of course Green Lantern, which I like Green Lantern. I defended that. And you would call this movie too. Well, it's a movie based on graphic novel, so I'll say it's still a comic book movie because it's based on a comic. Of course, Ryan Reynolds is great as Deadpool. you know, which came out a couple years later after this, which didn't save up his career. Mary Louise Parker as Mildred Proctor. Mildred, she's a supervisor of the R.I.P.D. At some point in the past. I don't really care, but I think she was in the client. I think she was in Red. Let's see, with Bruce Willis, the year 2000. Yeah, she was in Red and Red too. I remember liking Red. Yeah, she was really good in that movie. She was adorable, and in this film, she's just annoying and bad dialogue. But Marisa Miller's FBI agent Opal Pinocchio, I can't say the name right. If Roy's Avatar, Marisa Miller, beautiful looking woman, by the way. Yeah, she wasn't in any movie after this. And James Hong as Grandpa Jerry Chin. James Hong, really good actor. He was in Big in Trouble. He was in classic movies like The Big Trouble in Little China, Blade Runner. He was in that. Blade Runner, Big Trouble in Little China, classic movies. He was in Werewolves 2. Not a fan of that movie, but I liked him in that movie. Great actor, but really embarrassing for him to be in this movie. Felt sorry for him being in this movie. And in Kung Fu Panda, of course, he voices the Mr. Ping, plays adopted father in all the Kung Fu Panda movies, including the fourth one as well. But like I said, I love Big Trouble in Little China. Great movie. Revenge of the Nerds 2, he was in that. I haven't seen that movie, but like I said, Blade Runner and Big Trouble in Little China, classic movies from the 80s. You know, Devin Ray Trey is supposed to be a fat businessman. Let's see, Devin. You should probably know him as Buzz McAllister. I'm like, oh my god, he was in this movie. Oh my gosh. And Kevin Bacon is Bobby Hayes, a corrupt Boston police detective, and his partner. He's secretly, spoiler, he's a deado who was killed in drug rapid by escape judgment. He escaped judgment. Kevin Bacon can play great villains. He was in A Few Good Men, not a villain, but he was one of the first movies was the original Friday the 13th. He was in Tremors, The River Wild. He played the villain in that, The River Wild, and Hollow Man. He was great villains in that. And Hollow Man had better special effects too. Yeah, he was way better villains in those movies. And of course, Footloose, probably known for that. Footloose. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna sing it now. Stephanie Soski as Julia Walker, ex-widow. Uh, they say she was in Iron Man 3. I don't think I've seen her in it. Jennifer Schmucks. Yeah, I don't think she's been in any other movies after this. Margaret Miller. Oh, wait a minute, I read that. Robert Kibner as Stanley Newitt. He's over the CW and was in Young Guns 2. Species 3, he was in that. Transporter 3. The Hunger Games. Hard Target 2. Jack Reacher Never Go Back. Michael Willie as Elliot. I think he was in a TV show called Yes Dear. Yeah, don't fully know. Uh, he was in Meet Dave, which is a terrible Eddie Murphy movie in my opinion. Sully. Larry Joe Campbell as Officer Murphy. He was in Wedding Crashers and did a voice for Scooby Doo and the Goblin King. He was in Hall Pass. That was a terrible movie as well. It was a Fairley Brothers movie, I believe. And Piper Mackenzie Harris as Girl Scout. Nick's second Avatar. Toby Haas, Mike Judge. They do Ditto voices. Toby Ross. Looks familiar. He was in Jerry Maguire, Vegas Vacation, Bedazzled. Oh, I remember him in that. And he's like, "Why?" When he played like a gay man or whatever to shut up, you bitch. And if you've seen Bedazzled, where Brendan French character wishes to be smart, but he's like, "I am gay." That was hilarious. Bedazzled was a much funnier, better movie than this. He was also in Cowboy and Aliens. Mike Judge, you probably know him best known for Beavis and Butthead because he voiced them and he voiced Tank Hill. I sell propane and propane accessories for a living. I can't ever do the voice, but I love King of the Hill. and BB's Butthead to America. That's a great movie. Better than this. More funnier. And like I said, there was a sequel, R.I.P.D. of the Damned. It's direct to video. I think it starred Jeffrey Donan. Yeah. The film is directed by Robert Schwinski. I cannot say this guy's name right. Oh, he directed Flight Plan with Jodie Foster. I like that movie. The Time Traveler's Wife, Red. He directed that. I said I remember liking that movie. The Divergent series, The Captain, Snake Eyes. I haven't heard too many good things about that. It's written the screenplay written by Phil Hay. Hey, I may just claiming Hay or Ride Along. He wrote the Ride Along 2, which I would never care to see those. And the Tuxedo, part of that I like that movie. Yeah, he did the story for that movie. And so did Matt Freno. He did the story for the Tuxedo and Clash of Titans remake, which was terrible. Same guy. I guess they both worked on it. Yeah. But like I said, the Tuxedo I thought was good. Clash of Titans the remake, starring Sam Worthington. Yeah, that film sucks. I hate that movie. Yeah. Stories by David Dufkin, Phil May, and Matt Freno. Based on Rest in Peace Department, created by Peter McLimpy. He's best known as the developer and showrunner of the reboot series Hawaii Five-O, MacGyver, and Magnum PI. And I guess someone wrote the book for R.I.P.D. Okay. Produced by Neil H. Mortis. Can't say his name right. But he's produced our on all films like The Fast and the Furious, Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, Evan Almighty, Fast and Furious, Fast 4, Fast 5, Change Up, which also was around, Ryan Reynolds was also in that movie, with Jason Bateman, Fast 6, Fast 7. And so basically the guy who wrote the Fast and Furious movies, I'm sorry, I meant produced them. Mike Richardson, yeah. Well, it looks like he worked on some of the films like Aliens, some of the movies. The Mask and Time Cop, I guess he worked on those as well. Yeah, and this movie. It says he worked on The Mask and Time Cop and The Mask and Time Cop from 1994, starring Jim Carrey and Jean-Claude Van Damme. Those were movies based on Dark Horse comics. Cinematography by Alvin H. Fletcher. Yeah, I see part of his feature film versus some TV shows, I guess. Divergent. Yeah, that's the only movie I can edited by Mark Helfrich, who's edited films like Money Talks, The Family Man, Rush Hour 1 and 2, and the Rush Hour trilogy, and Good Luck Chuck, Hercules 2014, film starring Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Dark Angel, Rambo, First Blood Part 2, Revenge of the Ninja, Predator, Oh Dark Angel, I Come in Peace, starring Dolph Lundgren, which I like that movie, The Last Boy Scout, Nowhere to Run, Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, To Striking Distance, Bruce Willis movie, Scary Movie, The Family Man, X-Men The Last Stand, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, and The Next Level, Tower Heist. Music by Christopher Beck, who did music score for some movies like The Muppets from 2011, Moses Ronan, Frozen, Frozen 2, the Ant-Man trilogy. He did the music score for that, Hawkeye, the TV series, and WandaVision. Production company is Dark Horse Entertainment, original film, distributed by Universal Pictures. It was released July 19, 2013. It's 96 minutes long. The budget to make the movie was $154 million, but it only made $78.3 million. Either way, the budget, the film was a flop. It was a box office bomb. Yeah, it was panned by critics for a good reason. Most of them, Jeff Bridges' rootin' tootin' performances undead Wild West Sheriff is too dim-witted and informative to satisfy. Film critic Roger Moore gave the film 1.5 stars, calling it the worst comic book adaptation since Jonah Hex. Well, there's some other worse ones before that too, but okay. But I get your point. Yeah, they're both awful movies. And like I said, the movie is 96 minutes long. The best thing about it is only I can't even barely talk, but it's 1 hour and 36 minutes long. Unlike the Lone Rangers, it's not over 2 hours, 30 minutes long, so it's short. 100% love the casting, which I disagree with. Okay, but anyway, the story of R.I.P.D. is that to get from the comics, which my thing is I don't agree with what the director said. He's saying we're trying to go for, he says trying to make the director on the DVD behind the scenes trying to say, well, we're trying to make it realism, care about the characters, and I'll get into all that later. But I'm like, I don't agree with what you did with the movie. I'm sorry, I just don't agree with it. But anyway, R.I.P.D. is the Rest in Peace Department. What they do, they go after deados. It's like cops that die, and they go to R.I.P.D. and deados who refuse to go to hell might want to take over the world. They do some bad things, so R.I.P.D. have to stop them. You know, put them down. That's what they do. But like, it's like Men in Black who stop aliens, though, but no one knows they exist, and nobody knows that they exist. They're like exist in Avatar. They can, they have to. Each R.I.P.D. officer has to do like 100 years of service before, it's either if they choose not to do it, then they go to final judgment. They go to heaven to get judged. But if they choose to be with R.I.P.D., they get to serve 100 years. You know, for as long as they want to, probably. But anyway, the story of it is that veteran lawman Roy Publisher works for the R.P.D., a legendary police force charged with finding monstrous spirits or disguised normal people by trying to avoid their final judgment by hiding out among the living. When Roy and his new partner Nick Walker, who gets killed by Kevin Bacon, yeah, they uncover a plot that could end all life. Pretty much, they're with the Deadites. Deados, I'm sorry, Deadites are from the Evil Dead franchise. Deados are trying to get the staff of Jericho. That's what they call it. They must discover state where to discover the comic balance, or else watch the tunnel to the afterlife start sending angry souls back to the world of living, and they'll take over the world. The Deados want to open the staff of Jericho. Let's spoil like Kevin Bacon's the main villain. He's a Deado too. He got out of hell. He escaped judgment and is trying to take over the world, bringing all the evil souls to it so that they can take over and reign in the world forever. So Nick and Roy must team up together and they must defeat them and stop the Deados from taking over the world, and they have to take them down for good. So that's the plot for you. Yeah. I'm gonna talk about the movie itself and give my final opinion on the film. And yes, this is a rant. Yeah, yeah. Give my um. So the movie opens up with Nick and Roy chasing a Deado. That was Buzz McAllister's character in this movie. They're chasing him, a little silly chase, and the way the Deados look in this movie, oh my god, it is awful CGI. I'm not kidding you not. This film, the CGI is terrible. It's so awful. I don't know who worked on the CGI, the visual effects, but y'all need to call Industrial Light Magic. You know, the Mask had that. The Mask, Time Cop, those had great special effects in there. And even the Hellboy movies, I'm talking about the Ron Perlman ones, the special effects and makeup for the monsters look great. I mean, especially in Hellboy 2 The Golden Army, some good special effects and makeup in there. This film did it horrible. But they're chasing the shadows like, this is me, and then we get to 3 or 4 days ago, whatever. You meet Nick Nolte. I mean, Nick Nolte. We're not in 48 Hours with Eddie Murphy, which is a better movie, by the way, but a different movie. Not a superhero film or comic film based. But anyway, we meet Nick Walker. He's a police department, Boston police officer, you know, working with the BPDD, Boston Police Department or whatever. He's a cop. He's been a cop for 15 years. Him and his girlfriend, you see them spend time together, but I didn't care about this. The whole problem with this movie, the director wants to talk about realism, and then you talk about being realistic. I mean, did they just make this movie because of the Dark Knight Rises, the Dark Knight films coming up that made $1 billion at the box office because of the Avengers? Apparently so. They probably because those movies made money, so they were probably thinking, yeah, like again, the Dark Knight Rises, the Avengers came out the year before, 2012, made billions of dollars. So the studio was probably thinking, yeah, we're gonna make some money. So again, that's why I think they probably picked something that was based on comic book graphic novel, and they picked R.I.P.D. and they gave it to the wrong director and writers, and they screwed it up. But you meet him, he's just him and his girlfriend are having a moment, just talking. I don't really remember. I don't care because the story's not fleshed out enough. That's the problem with the biggest problem I have with this movie. The film is short. It's 96 minutes long. It goes by at a quick pace that you don't really have time to care what's going on. I don't feel the emotion. Ryan Reynolds is trying, but it's like he's got such a bad script to work with. You know. Then you meet his partner Bobby Hayes, the worst fake Boston accent to date. That's what I'm reading. What they did, they stole a chest full of gold found during a drug bust. Nick buries his show in the, Ryan Reynolds, he buries his share in the backyard. And, intending he used to create a better life for himself and his wife, Julia. However, he regrets it. Him and Bobby talk about it. He's like, Bobby, this is wrong. We can't do this. I'm going to put it back. You know, he's like, okay, we'll put it back. He's like, I'm out. I can't do it. It's just wrong. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to have to talk to our cops, talk to the officers about it, or do it done. Yeah. But anyway, you have this officer that they're saying, dude, put a towel on. He's a overweight fat fuck who. He's like, he shows himself naked. I'm like, oh god, dude, cover that up. That wasn't funny, really. That's your really good writing sense of humor. Is just a fat guy, taking his towel off. Yeah, I want to see that. And all your fucking 500-pound well freaking body on the damn screen. Yeah. Anyway, they get a call. Is a raid on a warehouse. Nick and Hayes get into a shootout with criminals. He shoots some criminals. I don't remember what happened. Lame action. And, he's like, whoa, Nick, you almost shot me. Whoa. Like, we're not going to turn that gold on, Nick. He's like, you're kidding, right? What? And then he pow pow shoots him. Sets up for the criminals for it, I guess, as I'm reading. But apparently, no police officer in this damn apartment doesn't find it suspicious when he just dies. We just have to believe that, So he dies. Nick wakes up dead, goes to the sky, like everything's frozen around him. And he floats up in the sky, his spirit. And he ends up, you know, to Mildred, who is the head of who's the head of the Boston Police Department, Rest in Peace Department, R.I.P.D. She's like, well, Nick, we like you. Take it in, you're dead. It's like, I'm dead. It's like, yeah, you're dead. You can either go to judgment, to heaven and go to judgment, or you can work for R.I.P.D. for 100 years for service. And he picks R.I.P.D. He shows him how it happens. I will admit, I do like this one effect though. It's like, you know, when he walks outside to this building or these filing cabinets, it's like there's no ground or floor. He can just walk over it. It's like he's not walking on magic or something like that, walking on something. But she's going to choose his partner. He says, and she tells him what they do, that they go after deados, they're bad guys, they try to escape the living, so we have to, RPD has to be around or they'll take over the world. These evil souls don't want to go to hell, they want to escape, they escape it, they escape judgment, they want to do some bad things, so that's where we come in to stop them. You see a deado, again, bad CGI, terrible CGI. Get your hands off of me, runs away. And then the guy who shoots him is Jeff Bridges. Jeff Bridges is so annoying. His character is Roy. He's like, you gotta earn that shit, boy. He's got voice in here like this, And he's got that southern accent voice. I can't do it right, but it's just god awful. And he's irritating. He's like, come on, rookie. I'm gonna train you. And he does also joins up for Final Judgment for at least a century. And you find out that he was actually Roy's and she was Marshall from the 1800s. They go to attend Nick's funeral. Nick sees his wife upset, but he's James Hong's character, who's his avatar, tries to go up to her and you know just say, "It's me, I'm here." And she runs away, and he tries to attack Kevin Bacon, but Kevin Bacon's like, "Get away from Bell, get this guy away, out of here." And they don't see Nick; they just see him as James Hong. He's not really Chinese, like a Chinese man, Jerry Chen. Roy's an attractive Russian woman that you know. This is basically their avatars in the movie. Yeah, this woman is hot. I'm not gonna lie. And you got the men staring at her. Everywhere's Avatar. They go to the apartment of a suspect. The argues like, I cannot. I've been a cop 15 years now. I'm doing like, you don't know what you're doing here. You read the cards, rookie, and I open the door. And they open the door, and he's asking them questions on the cards. He's eating this food in front of us. Like, got the food right. Can you answer the question? And the deado guy freaks out. Uh, Ryan Reynolds tries to arrest him, but he's got like two extra arms or whatever hands, and he knocks him out. Jumps out the window, and Roy, like, jumps at him. Cowboy jumps at him. Of course, they can't die because they're already dead. But they catch the deado, they arrest him. He like throws up, because Nick like hits him in the balls, throws up, and he sees the gold and is looking at it. Deado's about to kill him, but Jeff Bridges like shoots him dead. And I'll admit, so these guns are cool. But Man in Black had cool guns too. But you just don't need cool guns. You gotta have a good story. And this film does not have that. The piece of gold that he finds next door found in the guy's possessions, and they log into evidence. Roy takes one. Nick and Roy go to a Fox fan. They can't eat food anymore because they're really dead. So they meet Elliot, who's the informant. He teases Ryan Rose like, "How was your funeral? You enjoy it, cop?" And he slaps him with something. And he reveals he wants to set up a exchange with someone, and he lets him do it. And then they see what he's doing. He gives them the gold, and it meets up with Hayes, the cop that Kevin Bacon, who killed him. They follow him to Nick's house where Hayes retrieves Nick's share of the gold. Basically, he talks to Julia, and when Jeffrey says that he wants a gun, he says like, "You didn't tell me about this." There's a moment earlier where they were fighting, and he threw him on the bus. But he won't die. Gets and Jeffrey gets run over by a bus again. He's dead. Been dead over 120 something. You know, 80 years, I guess. Whatever. You know, regardless. And Jeff Bridges, he's like, get on my way. He's like, you keep talking. And the thing is, these two don't have any chemistry at all. It's zero chemistry. Jeff Bridges is annoying. Even Ron Rose is annoyed by him. He punches him out. Follows Nick. I mean, Hayes. And he gets his piece of the gold that he buried. They tell Hayes to this public bus where he gives this gold to a large deado named Posky, Buzz McAllister's character, who's just like a big fat like Elvis. Gives him the gold. They point a gun at him, and they talk to him. He's like, thanks, and he's like, sent this thing, and he becomes a big fat CGI, and that's where you saw the beginning of the movie. They chase him. You know, he's got like a grapple hook or whatever that he shoots him with. It's on Jeff Bridges. It's on his and it's on the Deado's ass, literally. And it's like, whoa, And they play sexy music every time people see his avatar or men see the avatar. But the Deado gets away. He causes an obstruction for Nick Roy that it makes the national news. Protector, Mary Louise Parker gets on them, takes them off the case, and she tells them, despite being on the suspicion soon to be erased, they're going to be erased by the Eternals, who are going to, I guess, send them to judgment for their punishment for what they did. It says we don't investigate anything. We're not cops. Well, the cops do investigate, but they don't investigate. They just go to Dittos and that's it. If they learn the pieces of gold, they're called the Staff of Jericho. Jeff Bridges a cause some asshole I make it 200 years ago, whatever 200 years ago. I'm like, shut up. God, he's irritating. Mystical device that can reverse the tunnel. What the Staff of Jericho is, it's a mystical device that when you put all the gold pieces together, it can reverse the tunnel that transfers the dead into the afterlife, returning them to Earth. Nick and Roy visit Hayes. Before they do that, he tries to go see his girlfriend. She sees him as chainsaw. He's like, "No, get away from me." Yeah, but Nick and Roy visit Hayes, who clearly finds out, and he reveals himself to be a Ditto. He like shoots a phone in the air. I mean, coin in the air. The house breaks down, and they said, "You know what, Nick? Yeah, Nick. It's James Hong though. Says, yeah, you're gonna go to hell punishment for for damnation." I kind of do like the line where Kevin Bacon says, "Hell can kiss my ass." I thought that was kind of fun. That was the only good line in the movie. He's arrested and brought to the R.I.P.D headquarters, where there's other Deados there. They use a device that Hayes had with him that freezes all the R.I.P.D officers, but not the Deados. It freezes them, and they grab the gold. You know. Jeff Bridges shoots it. Ryan Reynolds, is frozen, but he tries to shoot the Deados, but they've already escaped. They return to Earth. With the staff of Jericho, the Deados do. They good fact is like, I'll live up for this, I lived up for this shit. And there's some decent shots in there. It's decent, but I'm sorry, Men in Black had better action and better CGI. Yeah, you know what? Sometimes, uh, Randy Macho Man, I forget his name, the wrestler that passed away some time ago. Yeah, that was in Men in Black 3. He's a better villain. Forced Animal. You want to say he's not? No, these villains are more irritating. At least Boris Animal had good CGI on him. Looked a lot better. It was more of a threat, even with his one arm. Uh, Edgar the Bug looked better, especially when he's like this and takes his mask off, and you see him as the real bug, the cockroach that he is. That is a better special effect. And when Selena turns into her monster form, it looks creepy and scary. Yeah, Men in Black had more threats to deal with and better special effects. So, they fight with Buzz McAllister's character. Yeah, he jumps on the car. They're able to wreck it, and they shoot him. They eventually get up to the building. He kidnaps because they need like human sacrifice blood. So they pick Julia. He's like, Julia, you're gonna be creeped out. He shows her his look, and it's just terrible, awful looking CGI. And they're gonna reign here forever. To open the portal, which it works. And the Deados, the one that that earlier that when Ryan Reynolds died, went up to heaven. Kind of. That's what the Deados, most of them are. The rest of them are gonna come down, take over Earth. They include they go to save Julia. Roy destroys the Savage Air. Well, as do they start shooting at them. You know, Ryan Reynolds and Kevin Bacon getting a bit of fisticuffs, get into a bit of a fight. Nick goes to save him, and he does some of his cowboy stuff, and he gets this bulldozer, is able to grab the rope, pull it, and it destroys it. He destroys the the Staff of Jericho, sends the Dados back, and Kevin Bacon's like, pulls back, and he's like, partner. He's like, I got a new partner. I got a new partner. And then he just shoots Kevin Bacon dead. And Julia succumbs to her wounds and dies. It's a tearful goodbye, but I'm sorry. I wish I could care, but I didn't. But Julia gets revived in the hospital and begins recovery and gets a second chance as a favor to Nick. And I guess you can say she moved on with her life. And he gets left the warning, where he gets 53 more years after he's already extended to her in the agency. Roy pulls some strings to get Nick an Avatar, which is a 10-year-old Girl Scout. After his deployment, Nick and Roy then go into the car and drive away. And then the music plays, and that's the end of the film. So that's R.I.P.D. Like I said, short movie, but crappy film. Alright. Get my final opinion on this crappy movie. Oh boy. This is the theatrical poster for the movie. You see the bad CGI I'm talking about? I'm talking about the back where the portal opens. But anyway, what did I like about this movie? Well, I always like to get to a little bit of positives, even though if it's a rant, which this is. But still, I felt Ryan Reynolds was trying, Kevin Bacon is trying, but the film has such bad dialogue. It's just such a bad story and a bad script that even Ryan Reynolds looks for, even Kevin Bacon does. Kevin Bacon is trying, but it's just nothing memorable for his character. It's just they're forgettable characters. You know, yeah, Mary Louise Parker. I forget to mention she bites Jeff Bridges' um hair. Not hair, but goatee. She like bites it, which is weird. And Jeff Bridges is awful. There's a dialogue scene where he talks about these dogs that you know ate a skull or whatever, and he says, "Well, one animal may look to my skull," and I'm like, really? It's just bad dialogue, awful dialogue in the film, you know. But Jeff Bridges and Ryan Reynolds, they try. And I do like the actress here, the blonde, the Russian blonde woman. She was gorgeous in here. That's about it. I can't think of anything else I like in this movie. Just Kevin Bacon and them try. This should have been a movie with Kevin Bacon and Ryan Reynolds at the helm. It would have been so much better. Instead, tried to be Men in Black with a young guy, young rookie, and an old guy. Trying to rip off Men in Black. It should have just been two young guys. That would have been more interesting. And it should have been rated R. I can see this is a rated R movie with Kevin Bacon and Ryan Reynolds. I thought they could have good chemistry. These two do not have chemistry at all. It doesn't work. They don't get along, and there is no chemistry between them. With Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones, there's good chemistry with them. There's even like heartfelt kind of moments with them. If you've seen Men in Black 3, you probably know what I'm talking about, where I can actually care about these two men, about these two, who I could buy as being partners. I don't mean that in a gay way or anything like that. I just mean like friends, like kind of like AJ was like a father figure, almost like a father to Jay. If you know what I mean if you've seen Men in Black 3. And they work as friends. They work. The chemistry is there. You know, where they actually somewhat do care about each other and are good friends. They kind of like father and son. At least I got that feeling. This feeling, I didn't get that here. This feeling is Jeff Bridges is being annoying. He's singing in one part. He's trying to be over the top and hamming it. You know, with his voice and everything, he sounds like he's got cotton balls in his mouth or something because he's all for the street for because if I heard you might be dead. I'm like, dirt, dirt, shut up. I was happy when Ryan was threw him to the bus or punched him, but he wouldn't die. I was hoping Ryan Reynolds used one of these guns and just shoot at him. Oh yeah, and I would say the guns are real cool. They have cool guns. When they shoot them, the effect looks a little decent, but and the CGI, the deados look terrible in CGI. And when you see the portals, the CGI is awful in this movie. It's completely terrible. This is a 130 million, I think 130 million dollar budget, and you have terrible effects in it. Who did these effects? They did terrible. And who wrote this? The film's got two writers that did a crappy job, and a writer who did a crappy job. The story feels rushed. The story sucks. Yeah, it could work. It's an R.I.P.D. Recipe Spot. It sounds interesting, but it becomes a Men in Black ripoff. When the story picks up along, I don't care about Julia and her relationship with Rose. There is no chemistry between them either. The, you know, the love between them is just not there. I didn't see no chemistry between them. This felt forced and rushed. The story doesn't, the story falls flat. It feels very rushed. He dies very quickly, in the movie. It feels like everything in the movie happens real fast. Another good thing about the movie, the pacing is good. Despite that, the film is boring and terrible to sit through. The dialogue is bad. The effects are awful. The music score even sucks. I'm sorry. Cinematography looks ugly. Some shots of the city, look nice, I'll admit. But when it gets to the CGI, it looks awful. The editing, the action scenes are really bad and terrible CGI. Yeah. Deadpool 1 and 2. Say what you would say about the kid Russell, if you find him annoying. No. Jeff Bridges was annoying in this film. Don't get wrong, Jeff Bridges is a great actor, but if I want to see him in a better comic book movie, I'll just watch the first Iron Man movie. He's better than that. Because he's not over the top and ridiculous in that movie. And he seems like he's having fun in that movie. Yeah, he's probably having fun in here too, but not with the bad script he's been given. But yeah, the story completely sucks. The directing and writing is bad. The cinematography, well, somewhat when it's like normal things are going on, the movie looks good. Shots of the city looks nice. You know, like it's Boston. City of Boston looks nice. But when you have the CGI that comes into play in the movie, it looks awful, especially the deados. I'm sure even that franchise has better special effects than this. The Mask has better special effects, a better story, because I care about Stanley Ipkiss, and Cameron Diaz is more gorgeous than the woman in this movie. You know, at least that movie had a good love story in there that I cared about, and a great music score, good songs in there too. Very entertaining. Time Cop had a real good story. You know, I felt for John Claude Van Damme trying to save his wife, having to stop the, Senator McComb. Yeah, awesome action scene. Our lines like, "Oh wait, I must be getting started ballet," and then he kicks him. So some awesome dialogue in there. Like what an unusual thing to say. Do I look frozen to you? You look like shit to me. Some fun dialogue in there. And actually, Tom Cop is rated R, and it has balls, and it has interesting concept that works. That no character in the movie irritates me, or even the mask. Some of the mask is just as bad as this movie, if yet not even worse. But they're both crappy films. I'm sure the Hellboy 2019 film and the new Hellboy probably sucks. The Ron Perlman movies are good because I like the love story with Hellboy and Liz. It works. But here, this film just doesn't work at all. Yeah, I can see why it flopped. I remember seeing this theater, not many people were lining up to see this movie. Yeah, I don't think nobody wanted to waste their time with this movie. Thank God it flopped. That's the reason 11 years later, you have no sequel. Okay, you have a prequel, but I guess because Hollywood said, well, we don't have much movies to do, so we'll just, Netflix movies to me are like kind of like direct to video, so they'll make a direct to video prequel, which I don't care. We'll probably review that too. I think that came out in 2020s. Let's see it. Yeah, 2022. So they probably said, let's just make a prequel just for the sake of it on Netflix, but we can't release in theaters because this film flopped, so let's just direct to video it. And I'm sure that's probably crap too. I don't know. I've never seen that movie. Honestly, seeing a sequel prequel, I don't care. Yeah. I'll stick with the Men in Black films, just the first three movies. Even the third one was better. You know. Yeah. Like I said, Mary Louise Parker, she also kind of tries, but her dialogue is irritating. With her and Jeff Bridges were in a relationship, they have no chemistry. I'm not buying it. It's just bad dialogue. Yeah, Jeff Bridges is just awful. In this movie, Ryan Reynolds looks like he's bored out of his mind. Even Kevin Bacon does. A lot of the cast just looks like they're bored and they ain't got much to work with. Everybody looks like they want to fall asleep in this movie or walk off the set. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds, like I said, X-Men vs. Wolverine's also terrible, and so was Blade Trinity. At least Blade Trinity was rated lower, has some good blood in there, but it was bad special effects too. But this is even worse than Blade Trinity, and I hate Blade Trinity as well. And X-Men vs. Wolverine. But all three films are awful. I rather, watch the Deadpool 1 and 2 movies, Deadpool and Wolverine. I'll watch that sometime. And again, I'll watch Green Lantern. Green Lantern had a better, say what you will, but Green Lantern had amazing special effects. I thought Green Lantern, the suit looks better, and Ryan Reynolds is actually trying in that movie, and I liked him as Al Jordan in that movie. To me, it seems like he cared, and it was actually good. It's a very underrated superhero movie in my opinion. That's a lot better than this. That film wasn't a complete flop. It didn't make a lot of money, but I think it made more money than this. This film was a tank at the box office, a box office bomb, because it sucks. So anyway, just an awful film. I don't know what else to say about it, but R.I.P.D. I'm giving it a thumbs down. And my rating for this film is 1 out of 5 stars. Because again, Ryan Reynolds, he tries and Kevin Bacon tries. Some of the cast does try, and I like the hot blonde woman avatar for Jeff Bridges. Yeah. But the humor sucks as well. And bad CGI. But the rest of the movie is garbage. But that's not enough for me to want to keep this movie. So anyway, that's R.I.P.D. Rest in peace, Department. Yeah, yeah. Rest in peace in cinema because you're never gonna have a theatrical live action R.I.P.D. movie coming out to theaters again. It'll probably just be direct to video. Yeah, it'll just be forgotten like a turd in the wind, as Venom says. But anyway, guys, let me know what in the comments down below. What do you think of R.I.P.D. in your opinion? And what do you think of Ryan Reynolds doing some other comic book superhero films like Trinity, X Men Origins Wolverine, and Green Lantern, and the three Deadpool movies, including Deadpool and Wolverine? What do you think of those? I like Green Lantern, Sue Me, and the Deadpool movies, and I'm sure I like Deadpool and Wolverine, but I don't like this movie he was in. I don't like X-Men vs. Wolverine or play Trinity, but that's just me. Yeah. Well, he gives a good try to play Trinity, but still, that film was just terrible. X-Men Origins, he's just Weapon X, not Deadpool, and he's done poorly in that movie. Yeah. But R.I.P.D sucks. Alright, guys, stay tuned for my next review. This is another, let's see, I got three more 2013 movies left. I guess I'll go ahead and show you them. But the next review will be a revisit review starring Hugh Jackman. It's the second Wolverine movie. And this is from 2013. I saw this in theaters. Well, you probably just saw it, but that will be the Wolverine. Wolverine Goes to Japan. Probably review this tomorrow. So, there's 26 minutes long. Okay. But I like the Wolverine. I remember enjoying this film. But the Wolverine will be next, starring Hugh Jackman. This will be a revisit review also. And then finishing 2013 up, I will be reading two other movies. I don't know tomorrow, probably not, but it's okay. It's more movie after Wolverine. There's a review for the DC animated original movie, Justice League, The Flashpoint Paradox. I think I popped this out of Google, but I remember enjoying this movie a lot. But Justice League, The Flashpoint Paradox, and how about I want to keep this Marvel movie? It's definitely better than Love and Thunder. That is the Thor sequel, the second Thor movie, Chris Hemsworth, starring Chris Hemsworth, Natalie Portman, and Anthony Hopkins, Tom Hiddleston, and that is Thor: The Dark World. Yeah, which will be another revisit review. Probably not tomorrow. It could be sometime this weekend. But Thor: The Dark World. Yeah, and yeah, that'll be my. Well, wait a minute. Before I review this film, though, it'll be Kick-Ass 2. Since I reviewed the first Kick-Ass movie, I'm going to review the sequel, which came out in August. And this will be the last 2013 review, because this was November. Yeah, I saw this in theaters back in November. And we'll begin into the 2014 superhero movies. Yeah, which will be some revisit reviews and some new reviews. So, guys, let me know in the comments down below. What do you think of R.I.P.D. in your personal opinion? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you agree with me? If you like the movie, I don't understand why, but cool. We disagree. And stay tuned for my reviews for Wolverine, Justice League: The Flashpoint Paradox, Kick-Ass 2, and Thor: The Dark World. That'll be the rest of the 2013 movies. So it'll be four movies, excuse me, after that. Yeah, one, two, three, four movies. Yep, starting with next will be the Wolverine. So this will be next. So stay tuned for that, which will be a revisit review. So thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. And have a good night. Thanks for watching the videos today. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Bye.